Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Saturday, August 2nd, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alright, here we go. Here are the games for Saturday, Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the Dodgers and the Rays. We've got Blake Snell and Drew Rasmussen as the projected starters. Snell is returning from the 60-day IL in this game. He has not pitched since April 2nd. And this is something that is a little bit concerning because Blake Snell, we've seen over the years, is somebody that usually needs a few starts to really find his form and find his control. And when he is on, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. There's no doubt about it. He's Cy Young winner. He has been a very, very great starting pitching option for his teams in the last few years, but he is a slow starter, and especially with that control, we saw it in the rehab starts where he had great strikeout numbers, but a 5.2 walks per nine in the AAA outings, 8 2/3 in Oklahoma City, and I think that control issues could carry over to his first start back at the major league level, even against the Rays, who have not been a great lineup against lefties. It's just a situation where I just can't trust Snell. I don't expect him to go deep into this ball game. I could see him struggling with that control, and if that's the case, we've seen these types of starts where Snell unravels and basically takes his team out of the ball game early on. Facing his former team in this one, I think the Rays get to him. I think that Rasmussen, also on the other side, great option as a starting pitcher. So give me Tampa Bay on the money line. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Cubs. We've got Tomoyuki Sugano and Ben Brown as the starters. Now, I've mentioned I do think Ben Brown is a lot better than his current ERA, and I think he's been rather unfortunate at times this season with a 3.53 BABIP. And his last 5 games overall have not been great, but that last start in particular against the Chicago White Sox, a rival, 5 innings, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, no walks to go with it. And yes, the White Sox are one of the worst teams in baseball record-wise, but really over the last couple of weeks, and honestly in the month of July and overall, the White Sox had some of the best numbers offensively against both lefties and righties like Ben Brown. So Brown's got 10 Ks per 9. If he could watch the home run ball and have a little bit more luck on his side, I think he could put together some really good numbers the rest of this season into the postseason. I think he can be a key contributor for Chicago. I like his matchup here against a not-so-great Orioles lineup anymore after those deadline moves, and I think that Sugano, while he's been better as of late, still not a starting pitcher I'm looking to back too often, especially on the road, and especially against a really tough lineup in the Chicago Cubs. So I'm going to roll with Chicago in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. We've got Noah Cameron and Max Scherzer as the starters. Now, it may be tough to go against Noah Cameron when you look at his current form. 4 straight wins for the Royals in his last 4 starts. He's given up 2 runs or fewer in 4 of his last 5 games. His strikeout numbers have been there. But you look at this Blue Jays lineup, this is a team that does not strike out very often. They're tough on strikeout-dependent starters. We've seen that many times recently where good starting pitchers face this Blue Jays lineup and struggle because the Blue Jays do such a good job at working pitch counts. They're a good base running team, and I think that Cameron could be in trouble in this game. I just don't think he matches up well. Toronto's got great numbers against lefties in the last couple of weeks. Max Scherzer has given up 3 runs or fewer in 4 of his last 5 starts. He had 11 strikeouts his last game. He's had 7+ strikeouts in 3 of his last 5. So while in the last couple of starts, the Blue Jays didn't back him up offensively, I think Scherzer's trending in the right direction. I think he's also facing one of the weakest lineups in baseball in the Royals. I like Toronto's chances on the money line and run line at Rogers Center. Next up, we've got the Pirates and the Rockies. We've got Austin Gomber and Paul Skeens as the starters. Now, the Pirates have not been a great lineup against left-handed pitching this season or as of late. So while Gomber has struggled, I still don't expect him to get crushed in this game. But I still think the Pirates will win this game and cover the run line. I think they do enough offensively against Gomber and now a depleted Rockies bullpen that lost arguably their best reliever in Jake Bird at the deadline. Gomber against the current Pirates lineup, pretty good numbers. 20% strikeout rate's not too shabby with a 3.28 xWOBA. But you got Paul Skeens on the other side. This is going to be his Coors Field debut, but since he does a great job at limiting sharp contact and keeping the ball on the ground for the most part, with obviously great strikeout stuff to go with it, I don't think it's going to be too much of a worry for Skeens in this Coors debut. I think the Pirates, like I said, do just enough offensively to win this game, cover the run line. I think we go under the total as well, so give me the Pirates and the under. Next up, we've got the Detroit Tigers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. We've got Tarek Skubal and Zach Wheeler as the starters. two former Cy Young winners. Of course, Skubal, the reigning Cy Young champ in the American League. This is a great pitching matchup. Zach Wheeler, a 2.0 ERA at Citizens Bank Park with a 6-1 record to go with it. 98 strikeouts and 72 home innings. Skubal on the road this season, an even better sub-2 ERA on the road. 57 innings, 69 strikeouts to go with it. For me, the difference maker is I trust the Phillies lineup more right now. I think that they've proven to be pretty solid against left-handed pitching in the last couple of weeks, in the last month. And I think the Phillies bullpen is superior despite the numbers to this point in the year. I think the Phillies did a good job bringing in one of the best closers in baseball in Duran, and I trust that bullpen going forward more than the Tigers right now. So I'm going to roll the Philadelphia Phillies in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Washington Nationals. We've got Brandon Woodruff and Jake Irvin as the starters. And like we talked about last week, Brandon Woodruff, I did not expect these types of numbers in his first few starts back from a big-time injury. He pitched a lot of rehab starts, and it really paid off. The Brewers are 4-0 in his first 4 games, 2 runs or fewer in all 4 of those starts, 29 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings, just 3 walks with a 2.01 ERA. Even better numbers on the road thus far. The first 2 road games, 12 innings combined of 1-run ball, 13 strikeouts to go with it, and a 3-1 and 6-0 Brewers victories. I got to roll with Milwaukee on the run line in this one as well. Jake Irvin's been okay recently, but he's still not missing enough bats for me. The expected numbers are through the roof. Give me Milwaukee on the run line. Next up, the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. We've got Tanner Bybee for Cleveland, but no official starter right now for Minnesota. It's not been a great season for Tanner Bybee with a 4.4 ERA, but he's been a lot better at progressive field, 2.76 ERA and about 50 innings of work. The Guardians have won his last 4 games, so he is trending in the right direction. His last game wasn't his best with 2 home runs given up, but 8 strikeouts, 5 innings. It was on the road. He returns home here where he's been his best. He's facing a Twins team and just not great offensively on paper right now, and I got to roll with the Guardians on the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Houston Astros taking on the Boston Red Sox. We've got Colton Gordon and Walker Buehler as the starters. This is an afternoon, evening game at Fenway Park. I think we see a lot of runs in this one. The Red Sox, as of late, maybe not the best numbers against left-handed pitching, but overall this season, this has been one of the better lineups in baseball in team OPS and ISO against left-handed pitching. I think they can get to Gordon. I think the Astros have no problem getting to Walker Buehler. We've seen some high-scoring games between these two teams at Fenway Park over the years. I think this is another one. Give me the over. Next up, we've got the Marlins and the Yankees. We've got Cam Schlittler and Yuri Perez as the starters. Perez has been excellent as of late. 1 run or fewer in 4 of his last 5 games. Strikeout numbers have been there. Now, the Marlins didn't back him up his last 2 games where they lost 2-1 and 3-2. Low-scoring games to the Brewers and Padres, good pitching teams. And while the Yankees are a good team overall, I don't really love Schlittler in this spot. And we saw him pitch pretty well in his season debut, Major League debut. Since then, a little bit shaky, giving up some sharp contact. This is a very capable Marlins lineup. I think Perez pitches well, and I think that the Marlins get to Schlittler. I think the Marlins win this game in Lone Depot. Next up, we've got the Giants and the Mets. We've got Kodai Senga for New York, but no official starter right now for San Francisco. Kodai Senga is usually priced as one of the better pitchers in the National League, but I just don't think that's the case. I don't think he is a 2.0 ERA pitcher. I think we see those numbers regress as the season continues. We've really already started to see that his last 8 innings, giving up 7 earned runs and 3 home runs. That includes the start to the San Francisco Giants at Oracle Park last week, July 27th. 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 homers, 5 walks to go with it. The control is off, missing inside and outside the zone. So while San Francisco is not a great lineup, I think that their matchup against Senga is a good one. And I think it's even better the fact that they just faced Senga last week. I'm going to roll with the San Francisco Giants team total over in this one. Next up, we've got the Rangers and the Mariners. We've got Jacob deGrom and Luis Castillo as the starters. I know deGrom struggled in his last game, 5 earned runs, but still had 8 strikeouts against the Angels. He's had 8+ strikeouts in his last 3 starts. I think deGrom is still the better option by far in this game. I think Castillo, give him credit for his current form, but he's still a starting pitcher with an expected ERA in the 4s. I am looking to fade him in this spot and potentially going forward, and I like the Rangers in this matchup to get to Castillo, and I think deGrom has a bounce-back outing. I'm going to roll the Rangers in this one on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Braves and the Reds. We've got Spencer Strider and Chase Burns as the starters. This one, the MLB Speedway Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. Should be a really fun matchup here on 7:15 on Fox. Now, I do think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think that Strider has definitely gotten to better form after a pretty rough start to the season. He's now got his ERA below 4 on the year. And Chase Burns, the #1 overall pick, one of the biggest pitching prospects in Major League Baseball. We've seen him struggle at times with that, with giving up sharp contact, and it's the reason why he's got an ERA above 6. But he's got so much upside, great strikeout stuff, 10-plus strikeouts his last 3 games. I think he actually matches up really well with this Braves lineup. I think he earns a ton of strikeouts. I would lean towards the strikeout prop over. I think that both of these starting pitchers pitch well. I think we go under the total. I could see a couple of solo home runs here and there given up by both of these starters, but not enough for us to go over. I like the under. Next up, we've got the Diamondbacks and the A's. We've got Zach Gallen and JT Ginn as the starters. It's just not been a good season for Zach Gallen. He's given up now 4+ runs in 3 straight games, 6 earned runs in 2 of those last 3, and the Diamondbacks have lost his last 3 starts, 10-5, 6-3, and then that last start against the Pirates, 6-0 final. You're up against JT Ginn, who I think has got a lot of upside for this A's rotation. He pitched really well his last game against the Astros. 6 innings of shutout baseball, 4 strikeouts. He doesn't really miss a lot of bats, but his control is good, and he keeps the ball on the ground. He can get those double play outs. He hasn't been the best in Sacramento so far this year, like many A's starters, but I think that Ginn is the much better option in this game in terms of their current form. I think the A's can back him up. This is an Athletics team offensively. In the last couple of weeks, top 5 in OPS and ISO against righties, facing Zach Gallen, who has struggled already, now in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I think it's a tough spot for Gallen. Give me the A's on the money line. Next up, we've got the White Sox and the Angels. We've got Aaron Savale and Kyle Hendricks as the starters. This was a tough game. I researched this one quite a bit, as there's a lot of angles to look at. Aaron Savale has not been a very profitable pitcher on the money line for the White Sox since joining the team. They are 1-7 in his first 8 starts, so it's tough to really back that. But on the other side, you got Kyle Hendricks, who's somebody that really relies on forcing chases and weak contact to get his outs. He's not going to miss a lot of bats. He's not going to earn a lot of strikeouts. He's looking to put the ball in play with very, very slow exit velocities. Sometimes that works out. Obviously, he's got a 4.73 ERA, so sometimes that doesn't work out. The White Sox are, while it's been a disaster season yet again for Chicago, they've still been an offense that's been very competitive recently, and they also don't really have a high chase rate. They're near the bottom of the league in chase rate percentage as a team in 2025. So I actually think Chicago matches up quite well with Kyle Hendricks, and I think Savale, while he's struggled in terms of the win-loss record the White Sox have had in his starts, he has been really good in his last 2 games. I mean, 12 innings combined of shutout baseball is tough to go against in its own right. So for me, I think that the Angels have the slightly better bullpen in this matchup. So for that reason, I'm just going to go with the White Sox in the first 5 innings, plus a half a run, and on the money line in the first 5. Next up, we've got the Cardinals and the Padres. We got Michael McGreevy and Randy Vasquez as the starters. Now, this is a Petco Park game. It's more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark, but I think we see a lot of runs early on. I mean, these are 2 starting pitchers that just faced the opposition last week. I've mentioned my concerns with Randy Vasquez going forward. I give him credit for his current form. The Padres have won his last 5 starts. He's given up 2 runs or fewer in 4 straight games, but that 48-52 walk-to-strikeout ratio is just not sustainable. Facing the same lineup twice in the same week, I think he gets crushed. I also see Michael McGreevy giving up 7 earned runs to this same Padres lineup last week in 4 2/3 with a couple of walks, 9 base hits to go with it. I think the Padres get to McGreevy. I think the Cardinals get to Vasquez, and we go over the total in the first 5 innings. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.